Today we are repairing a very bizarre issue. So this is a Lenovo Yoga Pro 9, which most likely had a little knock on the edge where the power button is. And here, doesn't matter how much we press it, basically it's not turning on. This is a terrible design with this model because the power button is literally at the edge of it, and if it's pushed too hard or if the machine is knocked, you can see how it's protruding. This way. So basically it's protruding out, which is great to protect the screen if there is impact, but that's where the power button is. Ideally it should be somewhere here, because usually when people drop their machines, they hit the edges, not the middle of it. If you look from underneath, this is where the power button is. So basically, this little mechanism underneath, and I'm sure this is similar with other yoga models as well, because we've seen it before. That's the little plastic which is supposed to press a button. So in this case, seems like the button got dislodged and completely desoldered from the logic board and pushed in. So we need to take the whole logic board out to be able to fix the button and fix that little plastic spring mechanism which is pushing the button, basically bouncing the button back. Okay, let's strip it down. All these cables are extremely thin with the new generation Lenovos, so we need to be very careful not to damage any cable in the process. Okay, and the board's coming out to be very slowly. Let's pop under the microscope to be able to see the damage. So we're interested in the other side where the power button is supposed to be. There's a daughter board. So power button is just here. So actually we don't need anything to do with the main board. The daughter board is the one which we'll be working with, and we can see the power button is completely ripped off. If we pop under the microscope, there's a power button. And if we look at it, there's no support behind. So if you press that power button a bit too harsh, it will just lean backwards because there's nothing behind it to create that support to hold it backwards. So this is where the power button is pushing inwards and there is no support behind. So it basically leans back like this. Those traces looks damaged. So let's jump under the microscope and see what we can salvage. Right, we're ready with the power jack. We also added some support behind it, so that glue gonna cure and will create support behind the jack. Behind the power button, because yeah, it's a terrible design. Let's see what we can do about here. So this is where the power button is, and as it presses in, it bounces back on these little edges, which are rubber. That's the reason why it gets that bounce back feeling. So we try to straighten it as much as we could, but that's pretty much it. So let's position the button and see what we can do about it. It's a very small movement which presses the button, but we can hear the click. Let's fit the logic board back. We could have accessed that daughter board without removing the whole logic board, but that would have required removal of the heatsink unit. And there you go, it turns on. It wasn't turning on before, and it's all repaired. Thank you guys for watching, and if you need the service, all the information is in the description.